Guys interested in learning more about posing? Watch this video for more.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Mitchell Spadafore. I'm an IFBB Pro Men's Physique competitor, and I'm here at Criticalbench today to give you guys 3 posing tips to better your posing presentation. So the first tip I'm gonna give you is about being a statue on stage. So now what I mean about being a statue is basically you wanna hold yourself in a position where everything is locked in place, okay? So now some people, when they're up on stage posing and they're presenting to the judges, they kind of like hold relaxed and they're not really holding their stomach in and they're not really tight and they don't look like a statue. And the point of bodybuilding is you want to look like an illusion. You want it to look like a statue. So for example, like I said, when you're standing like a statue, you got your arms locked in place, everything's locked in place, your feet are locked into the ground, and you just feel like a statue. When you remind yourself on stage specifically, like I am a statue, or I'm feeling like you can almost visualize it. You can feel yourself holding in a position where you're like, I'm stuck. I'm in concrete grounds right now. I'm holding right here. Nothing is moving me from this position, and I'm staying in that position. And I'm holding these positions for the judges to see my strong points compared to every other competitor. So that's why you have to stand like a statue, stand nice and tall, nice and confident, keep your chest up, keep your head up, and when you do that, you look so much taller and you look so much more confident. So that's posing tip number 1. Before I forget, I want to tell you about a free Arnold report that is about living legacy through his strength. Now, basically what it consists of is a lot of his motivational quotes, a lot of what has taken place in his life, because the guy basically came from nothing. Like he started from the bottom and he's all the way at the top now. Governor of California, he's done some phenomenal things. People may love or hate him, but he's completed some phenomenal accomplishments, and we have to give him credit for that. So that will be in the pinned comments below. Download that. You will really enjoy that, especially as a bodybuilder. Now, posing tip number 2, I'm going to talk about your facial presentation. Now, you have to be able to control your face, especially on stage. I've seen some hilarious stage shots with people that are either angry or smiling from ear to ear. So you have to be conscious and you have to practice. Like honestly, when you're going through posing practice, you need to be looking at yourself in the mirror sometimes so you can look at yourself in the face especially. So when I'm looking at my face, I have a habit of smiling too hard sometimes. Now some people, they don't smile enough, they don't grin enough. Now for me, I'm up there like this, smiling from ear to ear, and they're like, Mitch, like you don't need to smile that big, like relax, like look natural, you wanna look composed, you just fluent and not uncomfortable. The point of it is to look as comfortable as possible with looking as natural as possible. So another thing about your facial presentation is keeping your head up, like I said, keeping your eyes out in the distance. Some people prefer to look down at the judges. You can give a glance at the judge, but ideally you do kind of want to look out in the crowd, so that way with your stage shots, you're looking out rather than looking down, because if you catch yourself looking down, some of the shots may not be as good as you'd anticipate them to be. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over is foot positioning. Now, foot positioning, you wouldn't really think it's as important as you would assume it to be, but everything starts from the ground up. So I'm gonna take my shoes off, and I would recommend not wearing shoes while doing posing. The reason you don't wanna wear shoes while doing posing is because on stage you're not wearing shoes. You want to mimic everything that you can do from being on stage. Now, personally, what I like to do is every single time I go through my own routine, I'm visualizing myself being on stage. So I'm off to the side, I know where the lights are, I know where the commentator is, I know where the other competitors are, I'm in my zone, I'm not concerned with anyone else, I'm off to the side, I'm gonna walk out, and this is where I'm gonna talk about the feet positioning. Now, bodybuilding is all an illusion. As you can see, my feet are turned. You'd think like you'd wanna just stand like this and just have your feet nice and tight and normal and standardized. That's not the case. You can shrink your waist, you can give a completely different illusion simply from your feet positioning. And I'm going to demonstrate this. So now, when I'd say it was 3 or 4 years ago. I was working with a friend of mine as a posing coach, and he explained to me that you want to turn your waist away from the crowd and then turn your shoulders. So as you can see, look at how little my waist looks from that positioning. Now, if I were to only lean this way, look at how big my waist looks simply from that point. And that's not even a major difference in regards to my feet. So if you check out my feet from there to there, that's like this, and the other one's just like this. So all it is just turning your hip. It's all about turning your hip and having the correct feet positioning, standing like a statue, having your feet locked into the ground like you got cement on your feet, and your foot positioning is really, really important. I feel like it's almost underutilized because it gives the whole package balance. So now, in regards to the other side, I'll do the same thing, push over there, usually pushing my hip a little bit. So what I'm thinking about with my feet when I'm doing this is I have all of my weight on this leg. The reason I have it on this leg is so I can push my hips this way. If I am centered and I only have my weight in my center of balance, I can't do this. I can't push my hip that way. Now, with this, open my feet up. And the other thing I'm thinking about is pressing through my toe. So on the foot that is not your back foot, basically you want to push up. You want to think about standing tall as possible, like I said, and just keeping your feet in a position where you can keep them held. Like, you don't want to be bouncing around, you don't want to be moving around like this. You want to have them in a position where it shows your best angles and also gives you structure. So you need to have good foot positioning in order to be the best poser that you can be. And if you follow these 3 tips and you practice these every single day, you would see great results in a matter of 30 days. And it would be only a matter of time, because it's practice makes perfect. For me, when I was getting ready for a show a few years ago, I was posing an hour a day. But I enjoyed it. So when you enjoy something, it makes it so much easier, and you're just able to do it freely, and even when you're not doing anything, you see yourself in the mirror and you start posing and you just have fun with it, and you just fall in love with the process. And if you guys have any questions about posing or have any information that you want to know about posing, maybe some questions about the feet positioning, how I learned that, I kind of trial and error, and also watching other competitors. You can learn a lot from watching other competitors, but you can't just watch them from an observer's eye. You have to look at it from a critical standpoint, similar to Criticalbench. So when you look at things from a critical standpoint, you can analyze them. So when I'm watching posing videos, I'm analyzing their feet, I'm analyzing their flow, I'm analyzing every single movement. So it's a lot about the presentation itself. You're almost in a beauty contest. Like, bodybuilding is similar to like beauty contests because it's all opinionated. We have no points. It's all the judges. Like, it's the judge's opinion, which is what our scorecard is based off of. Hey guys, before I forget, remember to download that Arnold free report in the pinned comments. A ton of value in that. Could even motivate you a little bit and inspire you to get back to maybe where you were before this quarantine, maybe before all the gyms closed and everything. And maybe this video could be the video that would inspire you to get back into the gym, to get back into posing, to maybe even potentially get you back into bodybuilding. So I hope this gave you a little bit of information and you learned a lot from it, and I really enjoyed doing this video, guys. Take care.